darkness.
Welcome back, guys. This is the GSL Code S round of 32. We are in the group stages right now. I am Doa. With me is Moletrap, and we are about to see an awesome game. It is going to be Liquid Huck versus Startail Bomber. There they are right there. The map is going to be Terminus 3. I am absolutely pumped for this game. Are you excited, Moletrap?
I am completely excited, man. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I have wanted
Huck
to see these
versus
guys
Bomber.
play each other for a long time.
Sorry, I'm looking at the chat. Bomber says, "Don't sleep." He's saying he's gonna make it a long game.
Wow, the chat is really funny actually right now in the lobby.
It's actually hilarious. But enough about that. Huck is got his work cut out for him, man. He actually, he's a very strong player. Has done okay against Terrence historically. Recently, he's kind of done middling. He beat Alive in an iCup tournament, but then a loss to Alive in the same tournament later on. Or maybe it was a different tournament. I'll have to double check. But point being, I guess my point is, Bomber's really, really, really good, man. He's self-proclaimedly the best Terran versus Protoss. And he has proved it, man. He's 15-3. He's got an 83% win rate against Protoss players. I really, I like Bomber. I'm a fan of Bomber, but I got to root for Huck here. I'm a little bit worried for him.
Well, all the foreigners are rooting for Huck. I certainly am too. Bomber's a great Terran, though. He's one of my favorites as well. We're going to have to see how they do duking it out here on Terminus 3 at the GSL Code S. Going to go head-to-head in the moment here. The game is starting. Who's going to win, Bomber or Huck? We're going to find out quite soon. All right, here up at the top of the map, GSL Terminus, we have got a red Terran player from the team, Startail, recently obtaining a new logo. He is known as
Startail Hammer.
Yeah, see, look at that. Her elbow is like, I don't know. They're a cute couple. So.
Whoa, did you see that? Bomber has his microphone down.
Oh, maybe he's gonna talk to Huck during the game.
Well,
Here he is.
It's not like it. Sorry.
From Team Liquid, our blue Protoss player at the right side of the map. She's like, someday I'll be with Huck.
Sorry, I keep forgetting about the intros.
It's okay.
Huck has his microphone tilted back behind his head, and Bomber has it tilted down below his chin.
It's gonna be receiving transmissions.
Yeah,
Transmission. Thanks to Pepsi. Thank you. Thanks to Pepsi G-Skill for sponsoring the GSL. You guys are awesome. And so TVP on Terminus can go for a very long game. In the chat beforehand, Bomber kept saying, very long game, very long game. I go long game, don't sleep. He knows Huck is tired. I mean, poor Huck, having to play in America, flying back to Korea, I believe it was yesterday, playing in the GSL today, then having to get on the plane right afterwards, go to Germany, compete in that, then come back to the GSL next week to compete, hopefully in the round of 16.
Yeah.
That is a tough schedule, man.
Thus is the life of an international Gosu.
True
international Gosu of mystery. That's Huck right there.
Yeah, we can call him the International Gosu Protoss.
Indeed.
Although people could call MC that as well, I suppose, too. Quite the international player this last year.
Or Ace. Ace goes to a lot of foreign tournaments.
Maybe not as Gosu, though.
Not quite as Gosu, no.
Yeah. And we saw on Bomber's jacket, where was the new logo?
Yeah,
where was the new logo, Moletrap?
They just got their new logo, man. They need to get some time to print out the new jackets and stuff.
I want a shirt with that logo on it.
I want a logo tattooed on my forehead, man.
Mr. Wan is listening to the English stream for some reason.
Even though he's sitting right there.
Oh, is he? No, that's not.
He's here. He's sitting in the back right now.
Oh, okay, I didn't see him. Look out, probe. Oh, it's too late. Bomber moving out with a couple Marines early on. I like that idea to kind of move out to midfield, intercept those probes. It's kind of cool. I think more Terran players should be doing that.
You need to warn those probes earlier, man.
Yeah.
And Huck is sending a stalker out, checking the watchtower.
Yep. So it was a 1 Rax expand.
Yeah, 1 Rax command center, and then he started making Marines in another barracks.
He got just enough gas. Well, yeah, he got just enough gas for a reactor, you know, or a tech lab. Curious to see which of those he's going to decide to make.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, Bomber actually is down to only a single harvester on gas right now.
Huh. And that is intentional. You can see him putting down the reactor right there.
And by the way, we saw Bomber do something that we saw him do in his previous games as well. I remember Tastosis talking about it. He actually pulled his mule away from the minerals before it expired so it wouldn't mine the minerals and then die with them in hand. At first I was like, oh, Bomber's making a mistake. His mule is like on gas, but...
Hey man, that's like 30 minerals, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 30 minerals that he doesn't lose from his...
yeah, it's a big deal.
And that could have an effect, theoretically.
Now,
every little bit.
What Bomber did is something we're starting to see a few more Terran players do a little bit more often. You get the 50 gas for the reactor, then you pull guys from gas and get enough for a quicker command center. Just lets you get your command center a little bit quicker with this multiple racks opening. As you can see now, he's got guys back in gas. He's got the tech lab and everything. Stim on the way as well. So little interesting switch up in this TVP opening. A little bit quicker stim, which I like. That's better against things like Void Ray All-Ins that we do see on maps like Terminus from time to time. But it's going to be Robo for Bomber, or from Huck right now.
Yeah, Bomber, he's dropping mules out of 2 orbitals. He's with that one. Actually, he's got more guys in gas now. Never mind. But he was making enough earlier just to get some Marauders out.
Huh, a second bunker. Interesting.
Huh.
All right.
What is he worried about? Huck has expanded.
You know, I don't know. I'm really wondering what Bomber's doing here.
You know what? Bomber hasn't scouted Huck at all, period. I don't think he sent an SCV out even. Or maybe the stalker killed it.
I think he just wanted to stay safe, you know, against any sort of early pressure from Huck. He's going to move out right now. He's got a decent force. Bomber's a little bit ahead on supply. He's going to want to take those Marauders too.
I don't know, man. Yeah, actually, Huck, if Bomber moved out right now, Huck would actually be in trouble because he's got a bunch of sentries, but no real meat units, no real damage dealers. He's getting out an Immortal right now, but that's not going to be quite as effective with so many Marines. It'll be obviously if he target fires the Marauders, do some decent damage.
So Bomber, as you can see from the mini-map there, is moving out. He's going to try to take those Zelnaga watchtowers, look around the map a little bit, make sure there's no forward pylons hanging out anywhere. Observer from Huck is going to see everything, which surprisingly enough is only barracks right now still.
Yep.
Yeah, no factories or anything like that quite yet. He's been spending a lot of resources on SCVs and upgrades so far this game.
And I like how Bomber did send out only half his army to scout around to hold that thought.
This could be bad for Huck. He's going to catch that army.
Oh, and he stims. Nice force fields, blocking that army out, wasting that stim essentially. Is he going to stim again? He catches a single sentry.
Some units sneak through. Bomber's units have taken a lot of damage from stim. Some decent force fields from Huck slowing that down a little bit there. And nice, looks like Bomber's going to move in. The sentries don't have too much energy. Guardian shield going up.
Oh, nice.
Very nice split by Huck, catching some of those units there. And yeah, Bomber's going to need to pull back, or he's going to lose a lot of units here.
Wow, beautiful force fields by Huck, trapping all those units in.
Yeah.
And with the Immortals and Stalkers to follow things up, Huck absolutely destroys Bomber's army, picks it apart.
Yep, and Huck might just go for a counterattack now. He certainly can. Decent amount of Marauders there. Oh yeah, Huck is looking fantastic right now. 2 Immortals in that composition, and suddenly Bomber is looking like he is about to lose this game.
Wow, yeah, man, he's like rallying units forward because he was expecting to win there, but instead he's forced to build 3 bunkers back at home.
Going to finish in time? I don't know, man.
I don't think it even matters with those Immortals there. Here comes Huck, charging into the main there. Force field blocking anything from getting out to his army.
Yep. Bunker's getting pretty close to finishing with the SCVs. Huck will pull back for just a moment here.
I think that's smart.
To just pull back too, yeah.
I think that's smart of Huck to pull back. He does not want to he doesn't want to overextend and end up losing everything.
That was an extremely close call for Bomber right there. Yeah, very, very dangerous to lose your units early on in a push like that. That is like the ultimate bad thing to happen to you in a TVP.
Here's the thing, though.
Oh, look at this. Huck finds the hidden starport factory. So there's going to be no medevacs on the field for Bomber. Everything going wrong for StarTail Bomber right now.
During all that, Bomber's macro was actually a little bit better. So at the end of the day, Bomber actually ended up with more harvesters on the map than Huck. Huck cut probes to try and fend off that attack. And he obviously did fend it off very, very well.
Right.
But in the end, when Bomber did hold that, they ended up even supply. Hold that thought, Huck going in for another attack. He takes down the first bunker.
No SCVs able to come out and repair right now. The first Immortal getting very, very low. The SCVs trapped between the barracks. Great force fields from Liquid Huck.
Wow, those Immortals pounding away on those bunkers, doing so much damage. Now taking out the Marauders as well.
Yeah, he's going to lose those Immortals, but some okay damage done by Huck. Not a ton of damage, but he did take out 2 of those bunkers. The medevacs have been delayed for quite a while, so all those bio units are starting to get very, very low from stimming.
Yeah, Bomber actually didn't target fire down those Immortals, so they did so much damage, and then both survived. Or actually, no, they died at the end of the battle.
Yeah.
They died at the end of the battle, but they did tons of damage to the bunkers and the Marauders first.
They survive on in our hearts, Moltrap.
That's right.
So how is Huck going to follow this up? He's got that Twilight Council going down. He's got the Forge as well. Might decide to go DTs. Wouldn't be bad at all, as there's really no detection other than scans for Bomber right now. He's got an engineering bay, but hasn't put up any turrets quite yet that I've seen. No turrets quite yet. Might decide to build one here in the near future.
He has built a couple more tech labs as well, so Bomber is actually putting out a lot of Marauders right now. Again, Bomber somehow ahead in supply, amazingly enough. And he just got 3 medevacs out, so those 3 medevacs with that group of units is going to be pretty scary, actually.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And Huck doesn't have really any high-tech units to deal with that. He doesn't have any Immortals anymore. He doesn't have a robotics support bay. He can't make Colossi.
Yeah, that is a scary bioforce moving across the map. Huck's going to need some good force fields here. Only 2 sentries. They do have enough energy for a couple force fields, but he's going to need to pull back. Zealot charge on the way, as well as the 3rd base down at 6 o'clock for Huck, as we can see.
Huck's sneaking an expansion down there.
Yep. Oh, and Bomber's going to drop and push the front at the same time. This could definitely get him back into the game.
Yeah.
If it goes well.
And Huck does not see that drop.
Oh, wow. Barely skirting the edge of the pylon. And Bomber's just waiting for that drop right now. Got the medevacs. Might as well take down the rocks, leading to the 3rd. I think that's a good decision right here.
Huck is expecting this. He had his stalkers up at his main, but no, he actually pulls them back down to the natural again. This is going to be bad. Bomber's drawing Huck's army way out of position for this drop, and the drop is moving in right now.
This attack at the natural isn't going to do a whole lot. Huck with some nice force fields there, but the force field's hurting the Zealots now, and a drop in the main. Huck has got nothing here to defend. His Robo Bay is at risk.
He needs to pull his probes right now. He's losing all of them, but he's too busy dealing with the battle and his expansion.
Oh no, losing a lot of stalkers right now. So much bio being healed by the medevac. Does Huck have enough?
Not just quite. His Zealots were trapped. Really bad position. More bio coming in from Bomber from behind as well.
Huck losing a lot of probes to this while trying to clean it up. And the drop in the main for Huck, doing whatever it wants. GG! And Huck taken down by StarTail Bomber despite that early lead. Bomber with some very nice maneuvering. And I mean, Huck, he had that sort of inkling that the drop was coming. Had his stalkers there to defend against it. Pulled him back at the wrong moment. Huck knows it. Tough loss there for Liquid Huck.
Yeah, and I think it did just come down to the macro of Bomber. During those battles, Huck was not macroing quite as hard as Bomber was. Yeah. Bomber ended up staying even. And then, of course, just absolutely beautiful maneuvering by Bomber there at the end is really what sealed the deal. Yeah. Drawing everything out of position, going in for the drop. And then at the end there, Huck was forced to fight in a bad spot where all the Zealots were both stuck behind his Stalkers and behind his Minerals.
Yep.
So it was only like one Zealot at a time was like going in, getting a hit and dying, going in, getting a hit and dying. So he couldn't really make use of his full army, and just superior positioning really won the day for Bomber there. So Bomber 2-0s the group. He is going to be going on to face Keen in the round of 16.
That is actually going to be a really good TVT. That'll be fun to watch. Yep. So next we've got our loser versus loser match. We've got TSL Killer versus MVP Violet. And when I say loser, I don't mean these guys are losers, of course. They're not. They're awesome. They just lost their first games in these group stages here. So they're going to play each other. And then Huck is going to have to play the winner of that match that we're going to see next. So he's either going to play possibly Killer again in a PvP rematch or MVP Violet. Either way, it should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, both those players very, very strong. And I think Violet's versus Protoss is going to be a lot better than his versus Terran. So I think we're going to see a lot better game out of him here in the losers match.
I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. Moving on to our next game now, it is going to be a PvZ between these two guys here. TSL Killer over on the left, and on the right we have MVP Violet. Violet making his way up through Code A. And one thing I always like to mention about Violet is that this guy, as far as I know, still competitively plays Warcraft 3. So he's a Code S Zerg and a competitive Warcraft 3 player as well.
Yeah, I had heard that about him last season, and I haven't heard any different now.
Yep, I'm sure he'll eventually switch over completely to StarCraft 2, but of course Warcraft 3 does still have a pretty strong following out there.
Yeah, well, you know, players like, well, anyway, we can talk about that later. We're going to get into this game here in just a moment. MVP Violet versus TSL Killer. Who is going to stay in Code S and who is going to fall to the up and down matches? We're going to find out in just a moment.